Hi, this is Sweet June. I'm coming back at you. This video is going to involve me talking about my business, putting a little bit about my business out there. I really don't like to put too much of my business, personal business out there, but it's a method to my madness. There's a reason why I'm going to discuss this topic that I'm going to discuss. It does involve me telling my little bit of my personal business, but I just this is an informational video. I'm giving you guys some information, and I want to give you guys a heads up. Love you guys. I don't want you to be caught up in the same situation that I'm in. Now, with that being said, did you know that I just found out over the past year that a creditor can seize your property? Yes, I said it right. A creditor can seize your property. I had a dentist bill a while back ago when I was in between jobs. I was between jobs, and I went to Aspen Dental to have some dental work done. And yes, I'm getting ready to put Aspen Dental on blast. I'm putting Aspen Dental on blast because I went and had some dental work done. And just giving you guys a warning, giving you guys a heads up. This wasn't a credit card. This was a dental bill. And the bill was originally $900 something. And I was between jobs. I probably should have made some payment arrangements and made the payments. I made the mistake of not making payment arrangements and not trying to attempt to make some type of payment on it. And time went by, and they did send me a court order or whatever, a thing to contact them or whatever. And I gotta admit, I'm guilty. I didn't do it. I had a lot going on at the time, and I just kind of ignored it, which was a huge mistake. Never do that. If somebody sends you any kind of court documents, particularly if they send you a court document, go to court, explain to the judge your situation, and offer some type of payment arrangements. Try to do whatever you can to stop them from proceeding any further. And I made the mistake of ignoring the situation and not, because I got other bills, I had other things going on, and I just, and then there was times where I kind of forgot about it completely. Huge mistake. Never do that. Sometimes, I was getting frustrated because a lot of times when you try to make payment arrangements with these creditors, you'll tell them, okay, I can only pay you $20 a month. And then they say, well, that's not enough. And so I get frustrated. I don't know about you guys, but I get frustrated, and I'll be like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I can't pay you any more than that. Well, we really should. We need at least $100 a month on the bill. Well, I'm not saying them, but maybe as a parable. Well, I don't have $100 to give you a month on this bill because I got other bills. You're not the only people that I owe. So I can't give you $100 a month. I can give you $20 a month. Well, in most cases, they tell you, well, no, that's not good enough. So I get frustrated and say, well, forget it. I won't pay it at all. Well, that's the biggest mistake you can make. Never ignore them. Try to call, make some type of arrangements. If you cannot make arrangements, if they send you, there were cases where I got my wages garnished. And in that case, I found out, I'm not going to tell you who told me because I don't want to put them on blast. They wasn't supposed to tell me. But when you get a thing from your employer garnishing your wages, a court order saying that they're going to garnish your wages, you can file a thing called a writ to to make installments. You go to your court, your local courthouse, and you tell them, I want to writ a document, a writ to make installments. And it costs in my town, it costs $20 to file it. And what it does is you pay them $20, and you write all the information on there, the creditor, your information, and everything like that. And you tell them, you put on there what your responsibilities are, and what your other obligations are, how much you're making, and tell them what you are able to pay. Make sure that it's not too low, because if it's too low, the first time I did it, it wasn't with them, but it was another creditor that I owed. The first I did it with this other creditor twice that tried to garnish my wages. The first time I did it, they denied me. I said I could only pay $50 a month. They denied it because they said it wasn't high enough. So they came after me again. And when they came after me again, I went down and I refiled it. This time I can pay $75 a month. They accepted that. That kept them from, because you don't want them to garnish your wages. Because what happens is when they garnish your wages, I think they do have regulations on it, but they can take at least 25% of your check. And that, I don't hardly make a lot of money to begin with, so I hardly wind it up with anything, to live on. So if you ever get a thing from your employer saying that one of your creditors is going to garnish your wages, that's what you can file, a writ to make installments. And then that way you tell them, okay, I can pay, make sure you don't make it too low. Say, okay, I'll pay you $75 a month, because $75 is cheaper than paying $200 a month. It's cheaper than them taking $150 out of each one of your checks. And I only get two checks a month. So the second time they accepted it, and I was able to, you got to stick to your payments, because if you don't stick to them, then they can come back and stick it back to you. So that's one piece of information that hopefully I can help somebody out. A lot of people didn't know that. I didn't know that until someone told me that this is what I can do. So that's one thing. But in this situation, like I said, I made the mistake of ignoring the situation, which I shouldn't have done. And one day I come home and there's a card on my door. The sheriff's looking for me. And I'm like, I instantly started to panic. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, why is the sheriff looking for me? I didn't do anything. I'm a law-abiding citizen. What did I do? I mean, was I speeding somewhere? Or I'm thinking, I'm racking my brain trying to figure out why this sheriff is looking for me. So I calls him, and he tells me that, and he said, one time I think he left a seizure on the door, and he sent it to me in the mail. And it says it was a seizure notice. I had my car and my son's car registered in my name. They had both vehicles and another car that I no longer have. They had that on there. And they had this thing from the court. This was a legal court document that says that, okay, you owe us this amount of dollars. By that time, interest had collected up on it. And I wound up owing them $1,500 because of interest being collected up on it. And they were saying, basically, in so many words, if you don't pay this, then we're going to proceed to seize your property. And then I read the fine print. The fine print said that when they seize your property, they not only can take your vehicles, they can take things out of your house. Because they listed all the stuff that they can take from you. They can come in and take your TVs and yes. I wanted to give you guys a heads up. I was really apprehensive of doing this video because it involves me telling my personal business. But I want to give you guys a head up. I want to give you guys this information to give you a heads up to let you know that this is something that everybody that I talked to about this situation said they didn't even know that they can do that. And I went down to legal aid. My friend said, well, check out the legal aid in your town, because he's from LA. And he said, well, check out the legal aid in your town and see if this is legal. I goes down to legal aid, and I asked him, I said, is this legal? I showed her the paper. I said, is this legal? Can they? She said, yeah, they can do that. I said, are you serious? So thank God, by the grace of God, I'm telling you how Jehovah worked. By the grace of God, that Jehovah put it on this sheriff's heart. Thank God that this sheriff has a kind heart. And he said, he gave me the opportunity. He said, well, see what you can come up with and call me back. I'm racking my brain trying to figure out where I'm coming up with $1,500. And I had to touch base with him to let him know that I'm working on it. And he's very patient. Needless to say, he said that, and then when I went to, I was having a hard time coming up with the money. I tried to get a loan. I couldn't do that. Needless to say, I winded up having to redo my license. I winded up having to renew my license. They wouldn't let me do it because of the seizure. And so he said, okay, I'll make a deal. If you give me $500, I'll let you go ahead. I'll take it off and let you go ahead and register the vehicle. Go figure. Thank God this guy is not, God, Jehovah God put it on this man's heart to not, because he could have came in. We're talking about a sheriff now, a sheriff. He could have came in and they could have just said, okay, we're seizing your vehicles, or however much this is. Oh, what they do is they seize your property and they sell it in an auction. And that's how the creditor gets the money to pay the bill. Yes. And everybody that I talked to about this situation said that they didn't know that. They was like, wow, I didn't know that. Yes. So I'm giving you guys a heads up. If you owe any, and this is a medical bill, mind you, this is not a credit card. This is not a credit card. Well, they extended me a line of credit for the dental work that I had. But this is through Aspen Dental. So I would advise anyone to don't fool with Aspen Dental. I would advise anybody to don't fool with Aspen Dental. Don't mess with Aspen Dental. Go anywhere but there, because if you wind up owing them money, they're going to come after you and take your stuff. Now, I don't know. It might vary from state to state. I don't know if every state allows that. But I know I live in the state of Michigan. And in the state of Michigan, apparently, I hate Michigan because Michigan allows everything. Apparently, not every state allows creditors to garnish your wages. Michigan allows creditors to garnish your wages. And they apparently allow this too. Michigan is a horrible state. It's a horrible state because they pretty much allow everything, Apparently, it varies from state to state. Some states don't allow that. Some states don't let the creditors do that. But if you check your state's laws. If you got any kind of outstanding bills out there, medical bills or whatever, check your state's laws and find out what they can do and what they can't do. And they can also go, if you owe a credit card bill and you haven't paid it, they can also go in I found out Michigan allows that too. Go figure. That's why I say I hate Michigan. I hate Michigan because Michigan allows all that. They can go in your bank account and take the money that you owe them. But you got to have a certain amount in there. They can't just go in there and take it at random. You got to have a certain amount. There is regulations on it. You got to have a certain amount, and they have to leave you a certain amount of money in there. And you have to have a certain amount of money in there before they can go in and take anything. And if you don't have that, then they can't do that. So there is regulations on it, but state of Michigan allows it. Go figure. But yes, creditors can take, if you owe a medical bill or credit card, they can seize your property depending on what state you live in. Like I say, do your homework. If you got outstanding bills on medical bills or credit cards, check your state's laws. If you Google, you can find a lot of things via Google. If you Google your information, find out what your state can do what your state does and what it doesn't do. Now, I don't think all states allow that. Let me know in the comment section if you guys, what state you're from, and if your state allows that. But yes, state of Michigan, I hate state of Michigan for that, because they allow everything. And I just, yeah, and thank God this sheriff is a nice guy, and God, Jehovah God, put it on his heart to, and he's still working. Needless to say, he's still working with me. You know, knock on wood, he's still working with me on this situation, and giving me the opportunity to make some type of installment payments on it. This has been a nightmare. Needless to say, this has been a nightmare for me, because I'm running around in fear that, I drive a hoopty. So I'm running around in fear that, they're gonna take the only little piece of hoopty I got. They trying to take my only little piece of hoopty I got. And go figure, now, if I was making car payments, they wouldn't have been able to touch my car. Go figure. Because if you're making car payments, you legally don't own the car. The car dealership still owns your car until you pay it off. So if had I been making car payments, all this time I'm running around with my chest stuck out talking about, yeah, can't nobody come and take my stuff because I ain't making payments on my stuff. My stuff is paid off. Come to find out, I could get it taken from me anyway. So, I laugh about it, but at the time, it was a really stressful situation. When I actually first found out about the situation, it was a stressful situation. I was really living in fear. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want them. I told the sheriff, I said, this is the only transportation I got. He said, and he was very understanding about it. White guy, believe it or not. That's why I say, I hate it when black people say all white people are racist and all that, because this guy, I'm telling you, he's a good guy, and he's a blessed guy, and he's still working with, needless to say, knock on wood, he's still working with me on this. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. If you got any outstanding bills, particularly through Aspen Dental, if you don't mess with Aspen Dental. Don't mess with them. Leave them alone. That's what they do. That's how they play you when you owe them money. So, just to give you guys a heads up, love you guys. I don't want you guys to get in the same situation that I'm in. But, yes, check your state's laws and find out what your state can do and what they can't do. Because, apparently not all states allow this, but the state of Michigan sucks and it allows everything. Excuse my French. So let me know in the comment section what state you're from, and if your state allows this type of thing, or have you ever heard of a creditor being able to seize your property? Let me know in the comment section what you think. Just want to give you guys a heads up. Share this video. Share this video, because I want as many people to get this information. This is an informational video. This is a heads up video. Okay? I got more interesting videos coming up. Stay tuned. Like and share, and please subscribe. This is Sweet June.